Okay, good day everyone. For today's lecture, before we proceed with the voltage and current divider padulong sa Thevenin and Norton's theorem, let us have a quick discussion first on the use of SIMULINK in doing circuit analysis. Okay, so previously we discussed about solving this circuit or analyze this circuit using two methods. We have the nodal analysis and the mesh analysis. Okay, so we are going to test the the those methods, and then we'll confirm it using the Simulink sa MATLAB. Okay, it's a software included sa package. So you can run Simulink only on PC, either through offline. So you have to download and install the software package including the Simulink, or you can just use the online version of the MATLAB. So, apil naman dito na siya. So, you can use the online version wherein you can just log in sa Chrome browser and then you're good to go. So, we're going to do that a little later. But before that, we'll just have to solve this first using nodal analysis. So, solve this one using nodal analysis. Using nodal analysis, find what's called this. We need to find the node voltages. Okay, so we have to find V1, V2, and V3. So the nodes are already labeled in this circuit diagram. So we have nodes 1, 2, and 3 that corresponds to V1, V2, and V3. So we can solve this using nodal analysis with current sources. So for nodal analysis, so this is V1. Okay, this is node 1, right? This is node 2, and this is node 3. So we can assign a current I1 here, I1, this is I2, this is I3, and I4. Okay. So for node 2, okay, so node 2 ta. So unsa man ang mga currents nga mo sulod o mo gawas diha. Right? So you use the KCL rule. So ang sulod we have I1, ang gawas kay I2 plus I3. Okay? And we have node 3. So for node 3 we have I3 plus 3 amp, kaya kanang 3 amp is 1, sulod siya, is equal to I4. Right? I hope you can recall the process in solving circuits using nodal analysis. Okay, for I1, we have V1. So it so happened that this is nodal analysis with voltage sources. So if naka-attach dira ang imuhang battery or voltage source, then automatic na ang voltage sa node V1 is 120 itself. Okay, so ato lang ibutang. We have V1, later we substitute, minus V2 over 20 ohm. This is equal to V2 minus V3 I2 is V2 minus 0, kaya mo muna ang reference, over 30 plus we have I3, okay, V2 minus V3 over 10. Okay, so simplifying this one, this is 120 minus V2 over 20 equals V2 over 30 plus V2 minus V3 over 10. Then diri po sa node 3, so i-cut niya. So for node 3, we have, so for I3, this is V2 minus V3 over 10 plus 3 equals I4 is V3 over 40. Okay? I can multiply this whole thing by 60. Okay. Then, ito i-simplify. So this would be 3 times 120 minus V2 is equal to 2V2 plus 6 times V2 minus V3. Okay? So, i-simplify na siya. 360 minus 3V2 equals 2V2 plus 6V2 minus 6V3. Okay? So, you combine similar terms. Okay? So, tanang V2 isumpay, tanang V3 isumpay. So, ang V2, we have this. Okay, so this is, kung i-transfer sa kali siya, ang kali ako i-transfer dito para mahimo siyang positive. So we have 11V2. Right, so we have 2 plus 6 is 8, 8 plus 3 is 11. Minus 6V3 equals 360. Okay, so let's call this equation 1. For the right hand side, and as a node 3, so to simplify this one, we have to multiply this whole thing by 40. We get 4V2 minus V3 plus 120 equals V3. So, simplify na ito. We have 4V2 minus 5V3 equals negative 120. This is equation 2. Okay, so we can solve this equation. We can determine V2 and V3 by doing substitution or elimination method. But for our case, we'll just use MATLAB software. So we'll establish first the matrix of this systems of equation. We have 11, negative 6, 4, negative 5, V1, V2, V3 equals 360 and negative 120. Okay, so using MATLAB software, we'll call this matrix M, which contains the following elements: 11, negative 6, 4, and negative 5. While for the right hand side of the equation of the matrix, we have C equals 360, negative 120. So to solve for vectors V2 and V3, unknown V2 and V3, we get this M. Okay, so this is the result. V2 is 81.2903 or 81.29, and then for V3 we have 89.03. Okay, so ito is what? V2 is 81.29 volt. V3 is 89.03 volt. And of course, V1 is 120 volt. That's 120. So we actually calculated the values V1, V2, and V3 using nodal analysis. Okay. So our next task is to confirm this one by using SIMULINK. So this is an alternative. Okay, it's like a virtual laboratory for electronics. So let's go to MATLAB. Then you either type SIMULINK, then hit enter, or you can just click this one, SIMULINK. The same mo siya. So let's do this. So muna siya ang gawas niya. This is your page sa SIMULINK. Then buhaton is you click this blank model. So you create a model. So muna siya ang magawas. Okay, so you have your workspace here for SIMULINK. So we need to create, or we need to construct the circuit diagram sa atong problem. Tara. So we need to follow this one. This one. Okay, so we need to construct this sa SIMULINK in here. Okay, so be familiarized lang sa SIMULINK na workspace. Mao ni siya. So first thing atong buhaton is ato siya i-save. Say ato siya ibutang sa desktop. And we'll call this lab simul 1. So next, ato ano siyang i-recreate tong circuit diagram, okay, which is this one. So ato na siyang i-recreate. Ako lang i-flash sa screen ang circuit diagram while we are creating it sa SIMULINK. So this one, so you have to click this one, library browser. So, ano siya? Yeah, I hope clear siya sa inyo. Maklaro na. So, you go to sa ubos, to ka sa look for SimScape. Tara, SimScape. Kawas na siya. And then, you go to electrical. Click na siya. Click specialized tower system. So, mga itong gamiton. Okay? So, atong kailangan sa ato ang circuit, we have resistors, we have source battery, and a source current, and multi voltage reading diode later. Itong gamiton. Okay? So, but before that, kailangan ito magbutang o gatong I think makita siya sa commonly used blocks. Okay, if hindi siya makita, then let's have, wala siya diha. Pwede to siya i-type sa search bar. Okay, so we want the power GUI. Kana ito siya i-click. So mo siya i-type actually, power GUI, and hit enter. So we need this one para sa reading na siya. It's either imo siya i-drop din ha, or you can just right click and then add add block to a new model. Okay. Siya magawas diha. So, ato siya i-drop na i-drag and then drop. Okay, so ano siya diha. Alright? Next is we need the resistors. Balik na din. Ito sa Simscape. We have passives. You click the passives. Itong pangitaon is the series RLC branch, this one. Okay, so you click and drag na. So, based sa ato ang electric circuit diagram, we have how many resistors? We have 4 resistors. So, yung buhaton is either you control C tapos control V, copy and paste, or you can just click control, hold imong control, and then mo siyang i-drag. So, you have another copy. Okay, so you have 4 copies atong nabuhat. Ito siya i-label. So, imo siya i-label din. Imo siya i-click. So, importante ka ng label. Okay, para ma-determine mo asa kung saan siya nga resistor, kung saan value niya. So, importante butangan mo mag-label para di ka malibo. So, this will be 20 ohms. Ito ang padakon. Medyo clear siya. So, you have 20 ohms. And then this is 30 ohms. Kani 10 ohms. This would be 40 ohms. Okay? Then, kailangan po taog battery. Yun siya sa sources. So, we need DC source. Tara. So, drag lang. We also need current source. So, this one. To gamiton control current source. So, i-drop na siya. Okay? So, ato sa i-arrange. Patasan to siya label. So, this would be 120 volt. Okay, so itong i-arrange para so i-drag naman na siya. Drag. So, ito siya i-connect. Okay, automatic siya na-connect. Then, we have 120 volt. Ano lang. So, connect. Then, sa circuit, naman tayo, mali. 10 volt ang naarin ha. At 10 ohm, I mean. Right? 10 ohm. So, ang naarin is 30 ohm ang katong pa-vertical na siya. So, mo siya i-rotate. Buhaton mo is you click control. So, after mo siya mag-click, i-click mo ang control and then control R para mo-rotate siya. There. Okay? Ana. Then, i-extend na siya para ma-connect sa taas. There. Manipod. Na. Okay. We have 40 ohms na paana siya. Right. Oops, kana. Connected na siya. Okay, so ato siyang this is 20 ohm. Okay, so ato siya i-double click. Then the branch type, imo siyang ilisdan o resistor. RLC, kay mo man siyang resistor, inductor, and capacitor. So this is a resistor type. You click R. You specify the ohms. 20. And okay. So ma-change na siya ang icon to become resistor siya nga icon. This is 30 ohm. Na. Kani kay 10. This one is 40. Okay, so we have this one. And then sa right hand side ni mo is na kay atong source nga current, di ba? Okay mo na siyang i-kuan diha. And magbutang taog source ano niya which is a constant. Ito siya sa i-connect. That one. Yung can i-connect niya. Okay? So, kailangan siya i-feed diha kung say value sa current. So, to do that, ito sa most commonly, diba, sa SIMULINK, most commonly used blocks, and then constant. So, i-drop, drop. There. So, this should be constant. So, double click. And then, ang ihang value niya is 3 amp. So, butang niya 3. Okay, so this is 3 amp. Kani siya, mo siya mo feed din ha. Okay? So, ang 3 amp mo yung supply diha sa kanina current source. Okay, sakto ang direction, which is diha. Last thing is we need a ground. Ito sa SIMscape. Utilities and ground. Drop. There. Okay, so that would be the final setup sa ato ang circuit. Next time mo hatod is we need a reader. Okay, kailangan natog na atay mo ng voltage reader din para mabasa if say voltage din na sa V1, sa V2, and then sa V3. So, muna itong i-confirm, di ba? Sa katong na-solve na to. To do that, we need a voltage reader and a display sa to ang reading. So, balik ta sa itong library. Ito ta sa sensors and measurements. So, we need a voltage measurement. A voltage measurement. And also a display. So, on display, I think we need to search this one. Display. Okay, you go down. Kada itong kailangan sa ng display. Okay. Since tulo ka rin itong pangitaon, you have V1, V2, and V3, so we need 3 of these. Each. Tulo sa voltage measurement, tulo po sa display. Okay? Oops. Let's say na doon ang voltage measurement. So, tulo ka buo. This would be V1, V2, V3. Tulo po niya siya. V1 reading, V2 reading, V3 reading. Okay, I think we are all good sa itong setup. So, if mag-read ka og voltage sa imong circuit, always na siya nga ang imuhang pag-read, ang pagbutang nimo sa imuhang mga terminals din, it should be in what you call this, arrange nimo siya parallel. Kung mag-measure po ka og current, it should be in series ang imuhang pag-connect. Okay, let's do that. So, kani siya, since V1 man na siya, so V1 is kani. So, siya ibutang din ha. Okay, so nadira ang V1. Then ang negative niya nga terminal should be attached sa ground. Okay? Ana, attach sa ground. May isa ka lang. Okay. Sunod, the V2 kani siya din eh. So this is V2. Okay. Then ang iyahang negative should be attached sa ground. Kana lang. Connect sa ground. Okay. So that's V2. Ang sa V3 is V3. Dinhira na siya. Okay, that's sa V3. Ang iyang, the same gyapon ang iyang negative attached sa ground. Dapat mo black na siya. Oops. Na. Okay. So for each anak nga reading, kani siya is imo siya i-feed sa display para makita, mabasa nimo ang iyang reading, ana. Ana. Okay. We have B1 reading, B2 reading, and then the reading sa V3. So, well, I think we are all good to go sa ato ang setup. So, ato lang i-confirm nga V1 should be 120, V2 is 81.29, and V3 should be 89.03. Okay, so let's run this one. So, pag run is i-click lang nimo ang run. So, nag-compile na siya. Okay, so let's take a look. So we have 100, this should be 120. Okay. Wala lang na set. So i-double click sa nato ang, so see, 100 na siya. This should be 120. Okay, my bad. So ato i-run balik. Okay. So we got the correct answer. Okay. So we have 120 volt for V1. 81.29 volts sa V2 nga reading. In sa V3 nga reading, we have 89.03 voltage. Okay, so correct. So that's how we make use of SIMULINK. So it's an alternative in solving electrical problems. Okay? Or if you have done your theoretical calculation, and a good way to check your result is you construct that same electrical circuit diagram in SIMULINK, and then you run it, then you should be able to get the exact same results. Okay, so that's it for SIMULINK. So we'll have another example on using SIMULINK. Okay, so consider this another example. So you can use mesh analysis to find I1, I2, and I3. Okay, but for our case, we'll be using SIMULINK to calculate I1, I2, and I3. Okay, so let's say for confirmation, you can just solve this one first using mesh analysis. I leave that exercise to you. So you can calculate the currents I1, I2, and I3 using mesh analysis, and then you'll find out that I1 is 3.474 amp. I2 is 0.4737 amp. I3 is 1.1052 amp. Okay, so these values will confirm this using SIMULINK to confirm this. Okay, so we'll go to MATLAB, then we'll type SIMULINK, or just click this one, SIMULINK. Blank model, create a blank model for this case. So i-save. So sa desktop, I will call this one as Lab Simul 2. Okay. So for our circuit, we need 5 resistors, 1 DC voltage source, and 1 controlled current source. Then later magkinahanglan ta og tulo ka current measurement because we need to find I1, I2, and I3, and alongside with it kailangan ta og tulo ka display kay we have 3 unknowns. Okay, so let's open up the library. Kailangan ta kaning display to sa click diha, drag. Then kailangan sa taod kaning constant. Okay. We also need katong power guru. Okay. Then the resistors, we go down sa Simscape. Simscape. Then under Simscape, we have electrical. Under electrical, we have specialized power systems. Under specialized power systems, we go to passives. Then we need this one, a series RLC branch. Then go to sources, we need the DC voltage source. And the current controlled source. Along with it, kailangan taog katong mag-measure sa ato ang current. This one, current measurement. Okay, so we're all set sa ato ang mga ingredients nga kailangan. Okay. So we need 5 of these. So drag lang siya, control drag sa mouse. Kabuok. We label this first. This would be 2 ohms. So, para po unsa. There. Now. 1 ohm. Another 2 ohm. So sa kaning SIMULINK, dili siya i-allow nga the same ang pangalan sa kanang resistance. Although pareha sila 2 ohms, but weird, kailangan lang siya ilahi ang name. So you have 2 ohms kana. The same siya value 2 ohms gihapon. 4 ohms and the 8 ohms. Okay? And kani ato ang voltage source. Ang source ani niya is 6 volts. Okay? Ito sa ang R, this is 2. R1. Ohms. Okay. Okay. Dato siyang i-arrange. So i-arrange. We have the 6 volts here. ang 2 ohms ato siya i-rotate na rotate na siya, and then another 2 ohms ato i-rotate, tapad na siya, and the 4 ohms kana 8 ohms ato i-rotate, one ohm rotate. Okay, so ato siya isumpay-sumpay na yun, connect the dots, so connect everything. Okay, okay, connect. Okay, natin current source there. So, i-move down. Mali. Ito na siyang i-rotate. Pabaliktad. There. Ano na siya dapat? Saka lang na siya. Saka. Okay. Then, connect. Sa ubos. Connect. Okay. So, ang current source, sa ibutang liha, but that should be rotated down. Okay. And this one, makonect na to siya din ha. Right? Yan lang. Connect siya diha. So, this current source should have a source of 3 amp. We have 3. Ito siya i-feed din ha. Okay? Connect. And connect the battery. Okay, so we have our setup now. I think we're good to go sa kani. Next atong buhaton is next thing to do is to atong ipang ano to itong mga measurement, okay, and the display. So we'll create 3 copies of this and then 3 copies pa ani. Yan. Okay, so this would be I1, I2, I3, I1 reading, okay, we don't need to align din kaning current is dapat ang current measurement naka-align siya, naka-connect sa imong circuit in series. Okay, so for I1, okay, if you look at the circuit, ito siya i-connect din ang I1, right? So this is the connection sa I1. Okay na And ato siya i-delete dapat kani siyang connection sa ilaw. Okay, in series siya nga connection. Okay? So that is I1. Okay, so that is I1. Ang I2 is na-connect siya delete na siya. So that's connected now in series. Okay? So that is I2. Then, ang atong I3 is, we can connect it here. Ito i-rotate. Na. So, i-connect din here. Okay, and then delete this one. Okay, so kada reading kailangan siya mabasa. So we need to feed this to our display 1. So you have I1 reading. This is I2. This is I3. There. Okay, so that's I3. So ato i-review ang mga elements, resistors, tama na rin siya mga values. Kanina, what should I listen? This is 6 volts. 6. Okay, that's 6 volts. We look into sa to ang circuit, that would be 6 volts. Okay? Then, we'll have to run this SIMULINK na to nga setup. You should be able to get the following. Nawala na ito. Then, ito ang gisuwat din. Oops, what happened? Nag-loading. Basta makuha napat na to is I1 should be 3.474, I2 should be 0.4737, I3 should be 1.1052. Okay, tara. So we should get the following. So if you click run, balik kong tanawang 3.474, tama, and then 1.05, tama, and 0.437. Ang I3 is baliktad na dito, nadiri ang I3, nadiri ang I2, so tama na siya atong nakuha actually. Okay. So this should be I3, baliktad, it should be I3. Yan na, nagiging siya ma. But anyway, so kana. So, ang I2 din I3 dito sa PCAS, kinasayip taog label, but the values are correct, the same. So, ang reading din should be 1.105. Ang reading din should be 0.4737. Then the reading for I1 should be 3.474, and then it's correct. Okay, so, okay, that's how easy and fun it is to just use the SIMULINK. So, basic pa lang ni siya. And if you want more advanced, this can be done also in SIMULINK. If you have more complicated circuit diagram, let's say a circuit that, circuit na naa siya specific na function, could be a sensor maybe, so na nag-require na siya of medyo dako or medyo mas complicated pa nga circuit design, and it can be done sa SIMULINK para ma-test mo daan ang imong circuit if tama ba ang mga current o mga voltage reading na dapat naa sa imong circuit diagrams. Okay? So that would be all sa kaning the use of SIMULINK in doing circuit analysis. Okay? So this is just a basic or basic lang siya nga exercise using the previous na mga circuit diagram that we discussed before. Okay, so for your exercise, I'll be giving you a circuit na ito na-solve na before, and then you'll have to recreate that one and confirm the results na na-calculate na to using nodal or mesh analysis by the use of this SIMULINK. Okay, if you have questions, feel free to ask me on email or sa Facebook Messenger. Thank you.